We all know that losing is part of trading, right? But do you have a plan or a way that you can logically reduce your pip risk and avoid taking a full loss? I'm Vic Noble, and this video is one that could definitely have a profound effect on your trading results. Just before we get going, in the text below this video or in the email that you received, there's a link where you can now receive a free pre-market analysis video, PMA video as we call it, by Darko every Monday. So go ahead and grab that. Also, I hope you can stay to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a special invitation to our next Coach's Corner monthly webinar, absolutely free, like no obligation or anything, which is normally only for our Coach's Corner members. I'll give you more information at the end. But right now, I'm going to go over our spreadsheet for the month of September and talk about the trades. I want to say right off the bat that we had a difficult month of trading in September compared to every other month, probably our worst. You know, we don't sugarcoat anything because that doesn't help anyone. We show it like it is. With our coaching service, our trades are fully exposed way before they get hit, so there's no hiding losses, right? We can't fake what we're doing. But I can also tell you that every other month of our trading has been really good, some of them amazing. And it was interesting in our Skype chat lounge, I want you to see what one of our more experienced and what I would call mature traders had to say. Just take a look at this. He says, although we're not quite at the end of September, I'd say this has been the worst trading month since I've been a member of the CC, like 2 years. For those that are new, this is what I thought was really cool for him to say. I'd just like to say this. Just like to say this month has not been representative of the opportunities and trades seen over the last 2 years. Patience and discipline. You just have to look at the CC spreadsheet over the last few months to see the amount of trades / win rate. September has all but dried up. And then Darko said this. He said exactly, and they will think that I've been BSing them on social media with all those plus 350 pip weeks, and then they might quit. And of course, the market starts to move, and we start making tons of pips. And so true, you know, that's what happens with people. And, you know, like Darko said in the chat room afterwards, you know, it's great that these comments came from a member, not from me or Darko. I'm talking about these comments that this fellow made here. This is not coming from Darko I. This is Darko or I. This is one of our members. You know, it's not us trying to convince anyone that this isn't normal. Like, you know, just hang in there. The member himself, who's been with us for like 2 years, told the other traders, you know, hey, this is not normal. And actually, this member has been profitable every single month this year up to this point. And I was just chatting with him earlier. He's down only very slightly this month. Okay, so he knows what he's talking about. So let's talk about the technical part of taking a loss. Is there a way to avoid taking a full loss? Well, the answer is definitely and absolutely yes, there is. In fact, Darko's going to record a detailed bonus video on this subject for our members next week. But for now, let's take a look at the performance spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you this right here. And this is what it looks like here. Really tough in the last part of the month. And this is obviously hasn't been great performance. Having said that, we have members who are actually profitable this month because the trades that did move went very well. They rolled them. Some of them were like 4-to-1 reward risk trades. A couple of them were. And for the trades that didn't move well, they mitigated their loss by adjusting their stops. Okay, but those are, you know, they're more seasoned members who have been around a while. They're more experienced and they have the discipline to ride big moves. And they're also right on top of their trade management. It makes a huge difference. You'll see on my spreadsheet, I've kept these notes along the side here. You'll also see where it says RL on some of these, no/RL here and here. That means reduced loss. I just started doing this in September because it more accurately reflects the loss. I used to just put, like, if I go up to the next one here, it just says no. If we had a losing trade, it says no. We didn't, you know, was it profitable? No. Well, that doesn't really tell you much. A lot of those no's were reduced losses, not full losses. So if we go over to this month, for example, I see I've got no/break even. This is because of differences in trade management. There was, like I say, break even. Let me just get this out of the way. It was breaking even for some people because of red flag news. See, we have rules about red flag news. We don't trade around them. We take trades out when we're around red flag news. Definitely a reduced loss, no matter what you did, of just 19 pips. Well, the original stop loss was 32 pips. Now it's down to 19, even if you didn't properly handle that loss, okay? So I would call that a break even. I put it as no on the spreadsheet. I'd rather understate this than overstate it. This one here was interesting. 6 hours in the trade, there was a Swiss rate release. You know, you got to know that when the Swiss has a big announcement like that, it's going to affect the euro. And so this could have been taken off for break even. Some did. Others took a reduced loss. Others were profitable on this trade. So I just put no, yes. That's a hard one to call. Same with this one here. We just had good trade management. The target was almost hit, so we reduced the stop was reduced to below the low left behind, and so on. That's what happens. You know what? When you have these. Here's another one here. 7 hours in the trade. You think things aren't going your way? Things aren't happening. So we held it over the rollover, simply out for either -7 pips, or if it was held, it was possible to get out for just a 7 pip. For break even. I'll show you just an example here of one of our trades here. This trade was came down like this. We got filled down on this level here. Price rallied back up like this, and when it started to rally back up, this little low left behind is a place where we'll look to reduce our risk. So rather than having our stop way down here, we move it up to underneath here. That makes a gigantic difference in the spreadsheet. Look what would have happened if you had not moved it. Like, you would have had a full loss on that one right there. Okay, so that's just kind of a Cole's a shortened version of the things you can do. Not a great month, no question about it, and I wanted to show it publicly because this is the reality of trading. We've had many weeks, months of multiple hundreds of pips of profit. In fact, most of them. That's the big picture, and it's so important to keep this in mind. Like, don't get sucked into thinking that someone out there has a system of trading that never loses, or, you know, if you see a system or a service that only shows you wins, especially in hindsight, like most of them do, my advice, if you see that, run the other way, because it is most likely very misleading and fake. Okay? Darko shows trade setups to our members ahead of time, not after the fact, and it's very challenging. Not because it's hard for him to find qualified trades. No, that's not it. The challenging part is that most novice traders, what we call stage 1 and stage 2 traders, focus on one question. How did the system do on the last trade? Right? Or maybe the last few trades. See, they had the absolutely wrong mindset for trading and probably should never start, or at least be willing to learn. Okay, that's the truth of it. They should be asking themselves, how has this approach performed in the bigger picture over a large sample set? Does it give us an edge? What kind of reward risks does it get? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. For Darko and I, setting proper expectations and telling the truth about trading right up front is just super important. Here's the thing. Because Darko notifies our members of trade setups way in advance and it's recorded, there's no faking our results. It's been that way for 2 years now. And our results have been absolutely outstanding by any measurement. But we do have times when we go through a few losses. And obviously this month is one of them. So my message today is, and this is something that Mark Douglas makes very clear in his book, Trading in the Zone, is that you need to look at a series of trades to determine whether or not you have an edge, right? Don't get sucked into what happened on the last trade or two or whatever. That's ridiculous. Whether they were wins, losses, breaking, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay? Enough said. Remember that if you are not already a Coach's Corner member, you can now receive absolutely free Darko's Monday pre-market analysis video. Just click the link in the text below and you'll get an idea of how he analyzes various currency pairs. And of course, our members receive a new PMA video every single day of the week. Also, we are inviting everyone to attend our next Coach's Corner monthly webinar, absolutely free. Darko is going to provide a powerful lesson on reading price structure that should really help you with your trading. So we hope you can attend. There's a link in the text below or in the body of the email that you received. We'd love to have you join us, so you can find out more about what we do. Our monthly Coach's Corner webinar is normally for Coach's Corner members only, but we're opening up to anyone that wants to attend. Okay, thanks so much for listening to this video. We greatly appreciate it, and we only hope that the information is useful for you. I mean, if that's the case, we'd sure appreciate a thumbs up by hitting the like button And be sure to follow us and click that little bell so that you're notified whenever we post a new video. And and how about a comment? Is trade management something that you struggle with? Let us know. Okay, thanks again, everyone. Have a great weekend. Take care.